We debate with ourselves what's the right thing to say. We have footnotes. The people that are running the internet and driving it and dominating it are not doing white papers with footnotes. They've got slogans, and the slogans are effective. They're effective communication, and they're repeated over and over and over. And they've got a certain percentage of our country now in these what are called filter bubbles. The algorithms are sending them to like-minded people who keep getting these very simple messages, which support a conservative agenda.
Why do you think that it is right-wing communication? I mean, you could argue that the right and the Republicans have really mastered this art more than the left and the Democrats have in terms of using social media to advance their political agenda. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that social media is more amenable, if it is, to right-wing ideology?
I mean, I'm going to answer this as somebody who served in a Democratic administration, so take it with a grain of salt. One thing is that I think the conservative right, beginning with Roger Ailes and Fox, have for 20, 25 years been quite disciplined about message and about identifying different ways to communicate. They're much more disciplined than the Democrats are. That's just a fact of life. They put more money into it. And so a couple of, Texas billionaires gave Ben Shapiro a boatload of money to start the Daily Wire. And he's now got a big entourage working with him, putting stuff into the system every single day. So there's more money, more organization. And then the third thing I would say is that the messages are really, really simple, and they're often not tied to facts or reality. The election was stolen. Hillary was running a sex trafficking ring in a pizza parlor. They're wild assertions. And, Democrats are not beyond fibbing or even lying about things, but I think we have a harder time coming up with those simple messages that are based on whole cloth. And so I think we struggle. We do a lot of position papers. We debate with ourselves what's the right thing to say. We have footnotes. The people that are running the internet and driving it and dominating it are not doing white papers with footnotes. They've got slogans, and the slogans are effective. They're effective communication, and they're repeated over and over and over. And they've got a certain percentage of our country now in these what are called filter bubbles. The algorithms are sending them to like-minded people who keep getting these very simple messages, which support a conservative agenda.
Wait, is it possible for the Democrats and the left to do the same? It's been many years that you'd think they would have learned to do this, fight fire with fire.
Yeah, I would say yes and no. We can certainly do better. There is, these elections now are multi-billion-dollar enterprises, and I don't think you start worrying about the election 3 months before or 6 months before. It's a never-ending cycle. And so there ought to be more money, in my judgment. I'm not an operative in the Democratic Party, but it seems to me there ought to be a more concerted, more systematic effort to get smart, liberal voices into the mix and to build up some of that same ecosystem that the Republicans, the conservatives have built. But I go back to what I said. The qualifier is it's hard to do it if you're going to have a nuanced or complicated message. The internet responds to simple, emotional, evocative images, and we're just less good at that, and maybe less willing to do it.